Peace and blessings, friends and family. Welcome back to my channel. First and foremost, I want to give thanks to the Most High for allowing everything possible and for allowing me to give you this content. All right, friends and family. So today I want to talk about how to leverage, or why is it important to leverage your job to create a side business, so that way later on in your future, or later on in the future, that side business could turn into a full legitimate business. All right, friends and family, that's the goal. The goal is to leverage your job, what you get paid, to start your own business. All right, that's what I've been doing for the last 20 years. I've leveraged the money that I get paid for from my job, which is money that I save on a weekly basis. I save money on a weekly basis. Is something that you want to do. You want to save money on a weekly basis, so that way you can have money to start your own business, right? Because at the end of the day, you could get fired, you could get laid off, you could suffer a medical emergency where you won't be able to collect a check on a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis the way you always do. That's why it's very important to save and invest, so that way in the future your business could become, or your side hustle, whatever it is, could replace your job. You understand what I'm saying? This is something that I am doing, as you can see on a weekly basis, that every now and then I talk about my businesses. As you all know, I have the King Lever Tax Services. I prepare taxes. So basically, I took money from my savings and I invested in this company that I started. And what I invested, I didn't make my money back the first year. I broke even the second year, so now after that, it's pure profit. Which is something that, I stress, for anybody to do, because in the beginning, when you start a business, you're not going to make money right away. You might lose money. The first year of my business, I lost money. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't make my money back till like the third year. Second year, I broke even. After that, it's just profit, 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 right? So that's how it is, man. You have your own little side hustle. Well, this side hustle is a legitimate business. I have my business license in here in New York, and I have a business checking account and business savings account for my business, right? And that's just another stream of income. That's why they stress, to always have different source of income. You don't want to depend on one income. All right. You don't want to depend on one income. You want to have different sources of income. All right. So that's very, very important. So you could have a job. You could have two jobs, where your regular job pays for all your expenses and your savings, and then you have your side hustle or another job that's going to go strictly to savings, right? That's something that you don't want to touch at all. That's something where you could have a long-term investment, or long-term savings, and for short-term goals. That's the reason why it's good to always have, multiple streams of income. Some people live off one income, where some people they high earners. They don't need to have two jobs. They high earners. They don't need to have a side hustle. You know what I'm saying? This video is not for you. If that's what you got going on, more power to you. Am I a high income earner? I'm in the middle. I'm like middle class, right? The reason why I have my side hustles is because I love to multiply my money. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to depend on one income. It's just something that was instilled in me since I was young. You know what I'm saying? One is not enough. So that's the reason why I do it. And that's the reason why I stress to other people that are struggling, to make ends meet. The videos that I do, that's for them. I know a lot of high earners, and they only need one job. I know a lot of high earners that make more than 100,000 a year. And that's all they need. That's more power to them. And my thing is to have multiple streams of income. And I'm going to show you right here. I have my King Laver Tax Services, which is what I do from January to April. And then after April, I sell Botana oil. As you can see, my name there, King Laver 100% raw Botana oil. And this oil is to nurture your hair and help your hair grow. You know what I'm saying? So this is a product that comes from Honduras. You know, I have several. This is how I get them here in New York. And then I bottle it like these. All right, and this is how I sell them. I sell them in small jars. Each jar is $25, right? And this is a profit. This is pure profit for me. You know, this is something that it was an idea that I heard my sister and my wife talking about last year, and me hearing them talking about it, and the knowledge that I have when it comes to marketing and when it comes to promoting. I said, you know what? Why not? Why not I do it? You know, my sister has a clientele at work. You know, so I say, you know what, this is interesting. And I started this last year. Right now, what I'm doing, I'm putting my labels on it. My labels is going on in here. And this is what I do. A lot of people know me for selling these, right? That's just my second, actually my third stream of income. As you all know, I work for FedEx. That's my primary source of income. That pays all my bills. And I save money, right? King Laver Tax Services pays the expenses for the business. And I have a savings account, business savings account, that the rest goes in there. And then I have King Laver Multi-Services, where I provide different services. But this is a product that I sell. But this money comes from Honduras. This product comes from Honduras. As you all know, I have dual citizenship. So I have citizenship in Honduras, and I have a savings account in Honduras. So anything that comes from Honduras, which is what I consider import, I import it here. Everything that I import here and I sell it here goes back home. So this is money that I don't use here in the States. I open up my savings account, checking account in Honduras. So that way, when I get older, when I retire, I'm gonna have money over there. So every time I go to Honduras, I could just use the money from Honduras, you know, over there. So that has nothing to do with this. So basically, this is an international savings for me. You know, this is money that I don't need, right? And this is what I'm trying to stress to a lot of people. Having different multiple streams of income. You could just keep making money, and not touch it and let it grow. Right? That's the goal. The goal is to let your money grow. And that's what I always stress here in this channel. And this is not the only thing that I have here. As you all know, I've done videos of me selling my, after this, it's my King Laver Coquitos. It's what I sell during the holidays from Thanksgiving to New Year's. You know, which is a Puerto Rican coconut drink that people usually drink during the holidays. I have that also. Okay, so you know, you all saw the videos when I was selling them, you know, to my peoples from Thanksgiving to New Year's. That's another stream. You know, that's why it's very, very important to multiply your money, because you're gonna need money in the future or now. Like I always stress, it could be an emergency or it could be a business opportunity. You always want to be ready. You always want to have money saved up for these situations. All right, friends and family, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for liking the video. You know, I appreciate each and every one of you. And this is what helps me save. This here also helps me save the $25. You know, usually, you know, the $25 that I save on a weekly basis, right? But this, not this, like I said, this goes home. The King Laver Coquitos, part of that savings, $25, and the $25 that I usually save from my regular job, right? You want to have options, all right? You want to have options. Friends and family, once again, thank you for tuning in. And the reason for this video is to multiply your money. leverage what you have now, leverage your regular job to fund your business, fund your side hustle, so that way anything happens to your regular job, you have your side hustles to help you. All right? Have a blessed day, and God willing, we come back with week 20 of the 100 Savings Challenge, Envelope Savings Challenge, Roth IRA Savings Challenge. Peace and love.